Here are just a few of the many reports that you will find useful when implementing a successful local senior games program. Up at the top here, you'll see some general reports. You'll find these very valuable. They are followed up by a bunch of folders, and specifically I want to show you the activity folder to start off with here. Lots of great reports in here you can print out for your event managers. You can use these reports to create your final schedule, figure out how much equipment you need for different sports, etc. Specifically, I would like to show you a few of the score sheets. So I'm going to click on the score sheets folder here, and I'm going to go down to basketball shooting. So you see the ladies here. Um, this basketball shooting score sheet is sorted by gender and age group. You'll see all the little tally boxes here for each participant. And after that, you'll see the total number of shots made column. And you can use the total shots made column to determine places in this final column here. You can click this little arrow here to show you all the men, same as the ladies, sorted by gender and age group. You can print this out, get it to your event manager for basketball shooting, and they have everything they need to score that event. Now I'm going to show you the performing arts score sheet. Very helpful, very different, but very helpful. The performing arts score sheet has one page per act and place for your judges to fill in their score. You just print this out, get it to your judges. They have everything they need right here. And finally, I'm going to show you the cycling 10K score sheet. So depending on the size of your course, you may have one big lap or lots of small laps. And it's adapted to where you could, figure out how many laps you need. Your lap counters can circle them here and enter their time as they cross the finish line. Most of the reports in Torch, you have the ability to export, and you'll find that very useful. You'll want to PDF most of these score sheets, some different kinds of reports you'll want to send to Excel. So whenever you click this little export button here, you'll see all the options you have for that. When you're finished using the reports in a certain folder, you can left click on that folder again and it'll collapse the tree of reports so you don't have so many reports on your screen. Next, we're going to go into the confirmations folder. We mentioned earlier that you'll be able to email confirmations. The reason for the confirmations folder is some local coordinators prefer to still snail mail confirmations. You can also print confirmations out here for participants who don't have email. We're not going to look at a bunch of those now. I do want to show you in the inner participant name folder, there's a couple. In case somebody loses theirs or said they didn't get it, you can go here and just, print out just one singular confirmation. And here is what a confirmation looks like. It's got their name, address, shirt size, if you have shirts for your local game. And one thing specifically I want to show you here is this section here. You see where we see all this great stuff. Let the games begin. You can see this is customized information for this specific local game. Lots and lots of great stuff here. Inclement weather plan, how to get your awards. You can customize that for your local games, and you will certainly learn how to do that. And this gentleman here, if you go on down, you'll see that there's his actual event confirmation. He's in basketball shooting. It's located at the Apex Community Center and the date and times. Next, we have the email folder. We mentioned earlier that you'll be able to email participants directly from Torch. In addition to that, we do have this email folder, and the reason for that is some of you, many of you, also like to use Outlook for communicating with participants. You can export all kinds of groups here, email address groups, just register participants, participants that are not registered. You can do them specifically by event type. So you can click on one of these. So let's just say we want to send the email to our, let's see, billiards players. So we'll click billiards. We'll click view report. Here, the export option I mentioned earlier, you'll left click on export, left click on Excel, save this spreadsheet to your desktop, and you can import that directly into Outlook. Next, we have the fees and refunds folder. This is how you can figure out who owes money, who paid too much money. Specifically, that report is called Participants Payments Out of Balance. And there's also one for participants with fees due. I'm just going to pull up the ones with fees due here. All right, so these folks owed this money for these activities. Labels reports. We have two different kinds of labels reports in here. One is mailing labels. Those are all formatted for Avery 5160s. Or you can also use the generic. You don't have to use the Averys, but you do need to use the size of the Avery 5160s. Looking in that folder, you can pull labels for participants who registered but don't have email, all kinds of stuff in here. Labels, not mailing and name tags. This is a great place to print out name tags. You can do it event specific, tickets for your breakfast or dinner or lunch. Labels for shirts. You can wrap your shirts and put labels on them. Next, I'm going to skip down to the results and qualifiers reports folder. You'll see here lots of great stuff. One thing I want to tell you that's really awesome is when you enter results in Torch, they are immediately available on the North Carolina Senior Games website. So if you enter somebody at 8 o'clock in the morning, they're on our website at like 8:02 at the latest. So that's really cool. So you can direct your participants to our website at any time. You can also copy those links and embed them into your own local websites if you like. Probably the most used report in here are your qualifier letters. And again, you can email these as well. We're just going to look at the qualifier letter standard folder for just a second. And where this is different than a confirmation is a confirmation you send to a participant after they register, and that tells them what they're registered for. A qualifier letter you send to them after they've qualified for state finals, and it tells them what they're qualified to register for state finals. So same thing, I'm just going to pull up one participant here instead of all for the sake of time. You can export this to a printer-friendly PDF file using the export button again. Silver Arts, lots of great stuff in here. My favorite I want to show you are display cards. So for like Heritage Visual Literary, you can print out display cards to put with their art. You can print them out with no names, and the reason for that is for the judges. So they see the title of the piece, they know which piece they're scoring on their score sheet, but it doesn't show their name. That way, if your judges know your participants, they don't have to feel weird about how they judge the individuals. Then you print out your display cards with the names to put by your pieces for during the show. So I'm just going to show you one with names. All right. So again, you can PDF this. This is printer friendly. Open. You can print these on Avery, or you can also print them on 4-sheet labels and cut them on a paper cutter, which is what we do for a lot of these. And the reason for it. Also in the Silver Arts folder, I want to show you a report in the Performing Arts folder. I want to left click on Performing Arts and left click on Performing Arts Acts with Details. First couple of columns you're going to see here are the soloists and the groups, and also group leader's name, subcategory, and then some really good details. The title of their music, the length of their act, whether or not they need a piano. Maybe you have two acts that ask for a piano. You could put them on back to back, and you only have to move the piano one time. Same goes for microphones or how many microphones they need. And there's also a place for them to enter other technical details about their act or if they have props. And again, if your participants register online, you will have all this information already entered for you. Next, we're going to take a look at the statistics folder. First, I want to show you the participation by activity, gender, and age group report. You can use this report to create your final schedule and see how many medals you will need for specific activities. This is a report we use a lot when planning for state finals. Next, we're going to take a look at the participation by city report. This report is a great example of one that was generated at the request of local coordinators. There is also a participation by county report for local coordinators with multi-county games. For Gaston County here, we have 5 participants from Shelby, 78 from Gastonia, and a few individuals from different parts of the state. This report can be very helpful when seeking support from neighboring towns. How many participants are coming from the other side of the county? Maybe a neighboring town would be willing to donate financial or staff resources if you make them aware that Senior Games is big in their community. The last folder I'm going to show you is the t-shirts folder, and there's a couple of reports in here. I do want to show you the t-shirts ordered by size. This shows you the type of shirt that was ordered and the size and the number that you need to order. Quick note on shirts. Not every local game gives out shirts. Some charge for shirts, some give them out free, some don't even touch shirts. But there are some great reports in here for you if you do offer t-shirts. The second one I want to show you is t-shirts ordered alpha. These are all the participants with the sizes that they ordered. So you could have this at your check-in if you have one big check-in at one place, and you could pull their shirts as they check in if that's how you want to do it. Also, if you want to plan a little more in advance than that, which is something we would typically recommend, there's another report in here called Labels for Shirts Ordered, Labels for Shirt Orders by First Event. With this report, you can print off a label and put it on a shirt. So, for example, let's say Bob Smith, his first event is horseshoes. You can print this label, put it on Bob's t-shirt, his size shirt, put it in the check-in box for horseshoes, and Bob can get his shirt at his very first activity.